Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Red and Blue News. It's Sunday evening, it's 8 o'clock, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Red and Blue Review. I am your host. My name is Nick Philpott. Okay, so we are about to be joined by the wonderful Jill Holyoke. Jill, come and join me, mate. And we're going to be discussing, obviously, everything that happened yesterday. Got other things coming up. And there goes Greg. Nice to see you, Greg. Oh, my God. I was going to say the Blues Brothers, but they look more like the Boogie Brothers than the Blues Brothers. That's the wonders of life. What is he wearing, Lee?
Well, what I decided was, like the players look like they'd already packed up and gone on holiday for the season, so I thought we'd join in. All right, so we got the Moody holiday shirt on, all right, and the shades.
Oh, my God. That's the beauty about live TV, folks. Well, those of you here, welcome. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of seriousness before we start. Great to have you on board. Great to have you there. Thank you for joining us and all that sort of stuff. But before we start tonight's show, we are fully aware that you are all hurting and smarting from yesterday's results. But please don't forget one thing. Jill and I and Lee, who I shall introduce properly in a minute, we're Palace fans as well, and we're feeling exactly the same way. We did discuss maybe not doing a show tonight, but it's not our style. We are here, even if the players weren't here yesterday, we are here with you tonight because we want to help you through your pain, ease you through your worries, if you've got any. And we are also aware that many of you, loads of you message us, especially me privately, saying how much you plan your Sunday evenings around our show. For that, we are very grateful. Thank you. Okay, so it's the least that we can do, Jill, myself and Lee tonight, Greg in the background, is carry on as per normal. Bit of perspective for you. Nobody's done a football game. We're doing okay. Things are not so bad. So, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate we lost against that lot, but don't worry about it. It is business as usual, as Greg quite rightly says. So, first of all, welcome, Jill Holyoke. How are you?
Yeah, slightly less stressed than yesterday.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a virgin. We have a Red and Blue Review virgin. A very warm welcome to Lee Gilbert sitting behind Jill there. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, thanks, Nick. Yourself?
Yeah, good, buddy. Thank you and welcome to the show. I'm sure what you'll have to say this evening will give us a valuable insight as to what happened yesterday. So like I say, you're actually sitting around the wrong way, you two, because I was expecting or hoping, Lee, that you'd be sitting on the other side so you could block the fridge. So you can.
I've got my foot against it.
I got your foot against it. Right, okay. Okay, so coming up with tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing that defeat, the first loss at home to Brighton in 13 years, our first back-to-back losses against them in 36 years. We're going to be talking about next week's. We're only going to be touching on the game for 10 minutes or so. Just to pay some sort of dividend, I suppose. We're going to be talking about next week's important quarter-final fixture at Vicarage Road. And we are going to be talking about something that's happened with two of our Lady Palace fans, Sarah Millwood and Alison Kenner. I know you're watching, girls. Lovely to see you yesterday. And also, we're going to be talking about, are the Yanks really pulling out? And we're also going to touch on the Renf game. So, first of all, we're going to talk about Sarah and Alison. Sarah and Alison, I had invited them on the show tonight, okay? But number one, they've done a half marathon today. So hats off to you both for that. And she has a Just Giving page that I believe Greg is about to put on the screen. On the 29th of June, 2018, this is from Sarah. We lost Steve, which is Sarah's brother, okay, due to a massive stroke. My mum was sadly in a terrible road traffic accident caused by a drunk driver and knew nothing about the passing of Steve. And still recovering in hospital now over 6 months later. Myself and close friends are going to run and did run a 13 miles, oh my God, 13-mile half marathon for him. And we want to raise as much money as we can for the lovely William Drummond Ward, who looks after him, but not just Steve, but everybody in the family as well, through that awful time. A few of us couldn't run for a bus, so this is an amazing challenge for us, and they were hoping for us, everybody, to give as much as they can. You'll see on the screen there, Just Giving page. So please, 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 if you can drop a couple of quid in there, I'd be very grateful. You'll see how well they've done. because I'm delighted to tell you yesterday at Selhurst Park and around the local pubs, which is where I saw the girls yesterday, they raised 775 quid to go into the coffers there. Now, guys, I can't see that screen. I can't see that figure, but I know they've smashed that target. But can you see what that says? Greg, you can't see it, no? I know, whatever it was, they've smashed it. But an extra few coffers for them. Girls, you did that marathon run today, so well done. Congratulations on behalf of everybody at the family here at Red and Blue Review. Well done for everything you've done. I'm sorry for your loss. Deepest sympathies to you and the whole family. Okay, but congratulations to you all. Superb stuff. Well, I also wanted to touch as well, moving on to the Remph game, as we're talking about Palace Brighton. Okay, guys, just a reminder for you that the Remph match is coming up on between Palace and Brighton. That's the Robert Eaton Memorial Fund on the 26th of April at 7:35 at Worthing Football Club. Okay, I believe it's on your screen now. Okay, the postcode for it for your sat navs is BN147HQ. That's BN147HQ. As many as you can get down there. It is a Friday night, and look at that figure. Thank you, Greg. They've raised £2,509.39. Jill, over to you, mate.
No, I was just gonna give you that figure because obviously a couple of people
can't hear you, Jill.
But yeah, echo all those sentiments for both, for both charities and the fundraising for the ladies. It was a really, really, really good effort. So yeah, straight into the chat. People are loving the shirt, which is nice. Kel Gilbert said, "Evening, guys." It's obviously Lee's better off. John Lyons loves the shirt. Yeah, Ben's here. Ben Equimoli, Lord Paul Glance, Steve White, Lee Clark, James Elsey, Jack Whitehead, Teresa Baker, Adrian Luckin. Everyone's saying they're still gutted. I don't know whether Greg was saying that my shirt was the new 19/20 away kit. Which that'd be superb, that would.
Right. I'm also going to do a couple of other bits, guys. This is totally unrehearsed, not scripted or anything like that. I can see all your messages coming on there, and of course, we want your conversation. We want your questions, guys. Please feel free to do so. There are a couple of things that have happened today that you'll all be aware of if you've been on social media today. You saw Jack Grealish get attacked at Aston Villa by a Palace fan. Okay, we all know there's no room for that in football. It's a disgrace.
Birmingham fan.
Sorry, Birmingham fan. Beg your pardon. Okay, we know there's no room for that in football and everything else. They are a disgrace. We witnessed how bad Birmingham City supporters are when they came down to a end of season game many years ago. Those of you sitting in the Arthur Wake that day when they turned up in fancy dress, a bunch of mugs, every single one of them. Well, it appears that Birmingham City are not alone, because I'm also aware of some Crystal Palace fans have been tweeting Anthony Knockhart about his sadly deceased father. If you are one of those people, okay, get off my page, get off Jill's page, get off Greg's page, because you're not wanted. That's not what Crystal Palace is about, okay? You have been tweeting about his dead parent, okay? I'm sure it's nobody on this group. I'm sure it's nobody. It's the sort of thing somebody on CPFC Forever would do, and you just have no class, okay? You have no class. Whoever you are out there, you bring shame to me, you bring shame to this group if you're on this page, and you bring shame to Crystal Palace Football Club. Please do not do it. Jill, take over for a minute, will you?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of stick now from Lord Glance.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, saying, what is that Muppet wearing? That's his word, by the way, Muppet. He's not just reserved that for me, that's what he likes to turn around. And then my wife has turned around and said it's her shirt, which is...
It's her shirt. Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, it's not my shirt.
We know you wear her underwear at weekends anyway.
The reason I wore it, like I said. But yeah, anyway, and Max Francis has just said there's no room for what's happened today in football. Both episodes. I mean, we can just add the Hibernian as well. There was a fan on the pitch at Hibernian confronting, I don't know whether he punched a player, but definitely confronting the player. But it's been a dark weekend, dark few days for football. And like we said, as much as I detest knockout, I honestly would have loved nothing more than someone to smash him yesterday. But you can't be going personal like you can't be digging people out personally like that. It's just it is unacceptable. So but I'm sure those people will be weeded out. You know, much like the fan doing the Munich playing what's name against United the other night. So just been a few things happen, but hopefully we can cut that out of football. And anyway, we've got a match to review. Shall we
do it? Shall we get into it, boys?
Yes.
Okay, we'll kick off with the lineups if you don't mind. We're going to folks out there. There is 82 of you already watching. We were talking before the show. We thought it would be a light evening this evening. And once again, you've amazed us. So thank you very much for joining each and every one of us. We were truly grateful. Okay, so the lineup. Now, there was a bit of conjecture, boys. Lee, I'm going to kick off with you to start with. Did you hear anything about the goalkeeper situation before kick-off? Because my understanding was Hennessy was in line for playing yesterday, not Guaita. Had you heard the same thing? I can't hear him, Joe.
You hear me?
Yeah, go on.
I was surprised that obviously Hennessy was on the bench. It was thrown instead. But I didn't hear any reason why. I know it seems lately that Hennessy suffers from his back spasms and does seem to pick up a few more injuries than he used to.
Yeah.
But Roy didn't. I don't think Roy said anything in his press conference about Hennessy being injured.
No, I watched it live. I watched the press conference lively, and there was, in actual fact, it was something that was a bit strange, really, because none of the guys in the press had actually even asked him what the latest is on the injury news on Sacco and everything else. Nobody asked him that. So the fact that obviously nobody mentioned about Hennessy being injured doesn't surprise me. Right, okay, so the back four, Van Aanholt, Dan, Tompkins, Wan-Bissaka, much as we expected. It was just even going to be Dan or Kelly. Across the middle, now this is where the main conjecture was. It's going to be Schlupp, Milivojevic and MacArthur, Zaha and Townsend out in the wide, and Batshuayi up top. Now, the biggest concern for a lot of people out there, they thought yesterday was set for Czech Kouyaté to start. Gel, mistake by leaving him out? Or would you have played MacArthur?
Well, in hindsight, I would have played Meyer because it was absolutely apparent we were missing anything creative in the midfield. I mean, I don't know whether he thought we were playing, Man United or a really decent side that were going to try and batter us through the midfield. I mean,
yeah.
For me, it was a very, very negative setup, very defensive setup, and sadly, they decided to have a negative setup and get us on the break. So we sort of looked a little bit lost for ideas because we had so much of the ball. It was a bizarre situation.
Yeah, Jill, just to let you know, your as it says in the chat, your mic is dipping in and out. It's fine at the moment, but you do keep straying on us, and I don't know what it is. Because when you're talking and we can hear you, it's absolutely fine. That aside, it's dipping in and out. All right, okay, and Batshuayi over Benteke. Lee, you agree with that? Happy with that?
Jury's still out with me on Batman, to be honest with you. I thought he was very good at Burnley away. I don't know. I mean, how Chelsea think he's a £40 million player, I'll never know. Technically, he looks very good, but I'm not sure. I'd like to see us go 4-4-2 at home, to be honest with you. Try something different.
So what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that's even worse? Jill, whatever you're doing, it's even worse. So are you suggesting Batshuayi and Benteke up top? They've just dropped themselves off there. So Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson says Anthony Knockhart's first minute challenge on Luka Milivojevic left him incensed as the Eagles lost at home to Brighton. The French winger was booked for a tackle, but then secured a stunning winner for the Seagulls after a break. Well, we all know he shouldn't have been on the pitch at that point. cutting in from the right to curl a brilliant left-footed shot into the top corner from 25 yards. He said, I was pleased to see Milivojevic get to his feet again, said Hodgson. Well, it wasn't his feet that he hurt, it was his left cobbler, I think. And it looked a dangerous one. Knockhart's yellow card after 28 seconds was the fastest in the Premier League for a decade. And Brighton boss Chris Houghton insisted the caution was the correct decision. You're on drugs, mate, okay? Clearly over the top of the ball. Oh, the boys are back, okay? Right, we're going to, before I carry on with that, Jill, I just want to talk about, we might as well get on with the game. So it was 26 seconds in or whatever it was, and that foul on Milivojevic. Now look at that. Can you see that image on the screen, boys? What a shame. So, yellow card or red card, gentlemen? Over to you for a minute.
Oh, well, I mean, clearly it's a red card. I mean, he's literally trying to take his nuts out of his shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's filth. But the thing is, what that picture doesn't show you is the very, very last second of that. I'm going to call it a tackle. Was a lunge where he actually tried to straighten his leg. Massively deliberate. It's the kind of player he is. Unfortunately, he has a terrible temperament, which is why his career has not taken off like it really should have done. Because as we found out later on, and you know, I knew it anyway. When he wants to be, very, very good player. But yeah, I mean, it's just a classic case of the referee bottling it. And this is the other thing about it as well. Right? The line-out, that happens right sort of in front of the benches and where the line-out is. So I'm just, you know, he has a great view of that. I mean, that's on the other side of the pitch, that photograph. And that linesman can be no more than 20 yards away. I mean, that's a shocker. In anyone's book, that is a shocker that he's not got a red card for that. And, you know, we're a year late now. You know, VAR, he's gone. 100% he will get a red for that.
Yeah.
I can't believe, you know, but getting a yellow, there's no retrospective action. He's not going to get retrospectively banned for that. You know, like I said, that's the kind of player he is.
Somebody in the chat called Kel Gilbert, okay, has just said definite red. So, hi, Kels. Welcome to the show. Great to have the old man with us. So, I mean, they seem to be, normally we've seen it this season where they've actually been targeting Zaha. Well, in the early stages of the game, you see, boys, that wasn't the case. It seemed to be Milivojevic that seemed to be targeting because he had 2 or 3 really heavy tackles against him. Did you notice the same, boys?
Yeah, early doors, he really made a point of letting him know they were there.
Jill, same thing?
Yeah, I think what they've realised now is that Luca is our playmaker as such. And if the ball's going to go forward quickly, it's going to be via him. I mean, it wasn't just, it was the whole game that they had a go at him, you know, and it culminated with Murray getting a yellow card, you know, deliberately tripping him so he couldn't go forward in the later stages of the game. But yeah, deliberate ploy. I mean, they were never going to get away with kicking Zaha. So all they did was doubled up on him. They were never going to get away with kicking Townsend, so they doubled up on him. You know, they were very tactically astute yesterday.
So we were just talking about, I mean, Greg's talking about it in the chat, VAR, yes or no. Okay, for me, on the damage they've tried to, the people like Etienne Capoue and others have tried to inflict on Wilf this year, for me, VAR is a definite yes. I mean, even, who's that Monk, their striker over at Watford? Deeney. He's actually came out in the press and said they were deliberately taking it in turns who was going to hit Zaha. I know we're not talking about the Watford game, but Greg asked the question, VAR, yes or no? For me, it's an absolute stonewall yes. Jill, I know you're more of a traditionalist than I am, okay? But VAR, yes or no? Yeah.
Now, well, if it's coming in, it's coming in. So, but what I was more disappointed with is that you know that they were prepared to put those big fouls in, right? And we weren't. What's all that about? It's like our biggest game of the season. Don't care what anyone says. Our biggest home game of the season is Brighton at home. No matter what it is, whether we're safe, whether we're fighting for, you know, we're both. I don't care what people think. People think that we only need one more win. I'm telling you now, every game is going to be a cup final for Cardiff. We have to go there. Huddersfield are going to be fighting. We've got to play them. We only need to lose those 2 games, and we are properly. Yeah, Newcastle away. You know, we've got teams that are just fighting. I know we've been there, and we've got the, you know, so we've got the measure of it over the years. But like I said before, sooner or later, if we keep being down there, it will, you know, we will fall.
Okay, I'm just getting some messages come through in the chat, gentlemen. Okay, and again, once again, welcome to everybody. There's people tuning in all the time, and somebody just said to me, somebody called Ben, has just said he didn't realise that Right Said Fred were presenting with Nick tonight. And
I thought he was ill. I thought he was too ill to. You know what he's done? He's phone. Ben.
He said, and he just returned your message by saying apparently he's too sexy for this show or something. I don't know what he's referring to. So yeah.
Well, you know, so Max E.G. Francis said he said he thinks we need at least 40 points. You know, it's going to be a real battle this year. You know, you only need one of those teams at the very bottom to do what we did. Remember we were bottom at Christmas, finished 13th, 14th, something like that.
Yeah.
One of those teams, you know, Southampton had the power to do it to get past us, definitely. So did Newcastle. No, it's just chances.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have it in front of me, pages and pages of questions from the group throughout today. I would like your questions now live on the show, okay? We'd like to have as much information from you as you can. I'm looking over here to my left. I've got my machine here so I can see them going through. So send us in your questions. Anything for Kel? No, Kel. Lee, anything for Gel and myself? Just give us anything we can talk about. We don't have to talk about yesterday's game if you don't want to. We're just going to go through very quickly. Former Palace forward Glenn Murray had given the Seagulls a lead for his 100th league goal. It would have to be against us, wouldn't it? Pouncing on a mistake by James Tompkins before superbly volleying into the far corner from 18 yards, giving Guaita no chance. But the host equalised shortly after the break when Milivojevic scored his 8th penalty of the season after Davy Proper had fouled Andros Townsend. Right, before I carry on, boys, I need to know your thoughts on the penalty. In the stand, okay, Sellers, yesterday, there was varying reports coming through as the penalty, because there was obviously problems with the penalty with the wind and everything else, and Brighton complaining. Penalty for you, yes or no, Lee?
Yeah, penalty for me. There was contact. I think Townsend probably made sure it was awarded, but it was definitely a penalty for me.
Sure.
Definitely a penalty for me as well. Thigh on thigh. Definite penalty. No 2 ways about it. And Chris Brandrick in the chat says no pen.
Is it what? No pen.
Chris Brandrick, yeah, he said no pen. So yeah, strange one. But in saying that, you know, the other day I turned around and said I didn't think it, you know, was a you know, one of our things was a penalty, and then Daniel Adams has turned around and said soft penalty. But the thing is, contact is contact, and the referee had a really good. In fact, the referee, what he did, if you watch it from the camera, there's a camera leveled on the penalty area. Concentrate on the referee. He actually peers around the player to keep up with play. So you know, I thought he did well. Definitely, I can't see that being a penalty ever. You know, all the pundits said it was. So, but yeah.
Penalty for me from where I was sitting the other way.
Yeah, okay. So what about, should Brighton, I'm listening to my producer in my ear. Should Brighton have one?
Yeah, definite.
Is that the one with Tompkins?
Scott
Dan.
He basically grappled with, I can't remember, I think it's one of the other centre, not Duncan, it's the other centre back. But yeah, Duffy, I mean, he grappled with him, and then the last part of the grapple was literally a full-on grabbed him around the neck.
Pulled him down.
Grabbed him around the neck and flicked him. I mean, to be honest with you, at a referee, if that had been us, we'd have been fuming. How that was never given, I really don't know.
Right, okay. I've lost my notes here. So Brighton should have had one. We shouldn't have had one. So the host equalised shortly after the break when Milivojevic scored his 8th penalty. The result leaves Brighton 15th in the table, while Palace, who are also on 33 points, are on 14th in the table. Okay. The main worry was not the result, boys, in my mind. Okay, I'm not, whilst we're all smarting, we're all hurting and everything else, as I've already said, thank you for joining us and thank you for letting us ease the pain a little bit. My main concern was the results around us yesterday, how poor they were for us. Had we got the 3 points yesterday, we would have only jumped up a place, I believe it was. It's everybody below us, the other results below us. Does that worry you at all, Joe?
Well, like I said, everyone's scrapping. To be honest with you, that game, we should have won that game yesterday. But how many times have we said that this season? But very rarely do we win games that we've played fantastically in. So it's been such a obviously more downs than ups this season. It seems to be the Palace way. But like I said, everyone just keeps turning around and saying that this squad is a top 10, top 8 squad, but they aren't cohesive enough. You can see that they've got a game in them. They've definitely got the skills. They can, we've got the team. It just I don't know whether we've got the right person in charge of them.
Right.
And I didn't want to say that in an argumentative way.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that a 71-year-old trying to tell, if it was a World Cup winner, you can go, all right, you've won the World Cup, I have to listen to you. But, I know he's a very nice guy and he's someone that we all are very fond of, and, he is genuinely one of their own. But there's too many people now saying, I really hate to say it. It hurts me to say it.
Lee, 300 games now. 300 games in charge. Okay, as a manager.
Yeah, great. And something he should be proud of. And he look back on it when he's retired and could be very proud of his achievements. But it's not just yesterday's home performance. You think about the performance of Man United at home game before. The last 2 home performances have been absolutely woeful. Really, really have. The last 2 away performances at Burnley and Leicester have been fantastic. There is a problem with playing at home. Whether the players don't agree with the tactics that Roy sets them out to play at home, whether he thinks they're too negative, I don't know. But all I know is the team that play away, the system, is a completely different team. And I think it might be even psychological now.
Yeah. So let's ask everybody a question, and I'm coming to ask you two the same question in a second. Boys, Roy Hodgson retires at the end of the season. Okay, we thank him for his wonderful service. He did us proud last year. Everybody out there listening to us tonight, everybody out there watching us this evening, who would you want, please? And in the chat, because I'm looking at them now, who would you want to replace Roy Hodgson?
Well, as soon as I brought it up, and then Dan Simmons has just come straight out and said, "So, Jill, who would you replace him with?" The thing is, it doesn't matter who I say. It really doesn't. The only thing I will say is I think someone who has been there, seen it. Do you know what? Someone like a Lampard or a Gerrard, someone that's won Premier League titles, someone that's played a really decent 80 to 100 cap international career, someone who's respected, someone who's got, just someone who's been there and done it, who's played under huge pressure, played in the Champions League, just done everything, I know there are not enough players being given the chance. Gerrard's had to go to Scotland. I mean, he's picked the second biggest side up there to have a go with. Probably, I don't know whether he's turned them around. I don't really take that much notice of Scottish football, but what I'm saying is, apart from your blip, I think Lampard's done all right. I just feel that we need to be nice to get some ex-players. Not our ex-players. I'm just talking about genuine ex-players involved at the highest level, and ones that are closer to have a little bit more affinity. That are playing. If they finished their game 5 years ago, the game hasn't moved on massively in 5 years, but it's moved on a lot since Hodgson played. I feel terrible picking on him. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a picking on him, but I just think there's too many people saying now that we need to move him on. And should we, which he probably will, but should we survive this season, then I think we need to have a new manager in place. Not 2 weeks before the season either. He needs to close season. He needs to bring players in. So,
what do you think out there, everybody in the chat? New manager, no manager? Lee, I'm just coming to you because I want you to talk us through the winning goal, and then we're going to wrap the game up. Okay, that goal was good enough to win any game, let alone one with this intense rivalry. Dale Stevens sends a crossfield pass over to Knockhart, but Patrick Van Arnholt, gentlemen, which is the subject going on to next. Patrick Van Arnholt can't close it down. Knockhart bends it into the top corner from the outside of the penalty area. Keeper, again, no chance. Lee, your thoughts on that goal? Your thoughts on Patrick Van Arnholt? Because we're going to get PJ out of the way. It's been... and then I'm going to go straight into the questions, and there's a reason for it, because I've got a whole page on Patrick Van Arnholt.
I mean, Nick, yes, it was a fantastic finish. But meanwhile, before that goal had been scored, Meyer was changed and ready to come on. Hodgson took so long dithering to make that substitution.
He did.
It was 1-1. So long for dithering about. It just seemed to take an age. Before he got him on, obviously, Knockhart scored that goal. But he was out on the wing, and PVA just seemed to back off. He didn't seem to go into him. He just seemed to back off, and allow him to run in to make that angle, to have that shot. Why didn't PVA come towards him? I mean, I know he's great going forward, and there's always been weaknesses over his defending or, I just can't understand why he didn't actually come and try and close him down. It's so frustrating. I mean, to me, PVA has been shocking this season.
Yeah.
Our worst player. But, I mean, a lot of people say about dropping him. But what's the alternative? The only alternative probably is to play Ward at left back.
Ward at left back? Okay.
Well, he's played there before, but...
What about Suarez? He's still around, isn't he?
No, he's injured.
He's broken, isn't he? Suarez.
And Jeff Schlupp, could he not play back there?
Jeff Schlupp doesn't stop crosses and doesn't track back. He loves a flick and everything going forward. But going back, he's just the fitter version of punching when it comes to defending. So, no.
It's a shame we haven't got a left back.
Well, this is it. I mean, and we're coming on. Hold that thought, Lee, because we're coming on to that in a couple of minutes. Because I'm going to literally finish off these few stats, then we're going straight into the questions, okay? Because there's bits and pieces I want to go through on there. So,
can we just want to say one more thing, Nick? Sorry.
Go for it.
So with PVA, what he does, he takes a fella who has only got Knockhart doesn't have a right foot. So what he does is he takes a left-footed player inside. I mean, that's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I've only gone after a few players this season, but he has been shocking. He's had probably one decent game in the last couple of months. And I'll tell you what, I was there. The game when his season changed, right, was when Mamadou Sakho. We talked about this. Wolf had a go at him, and then Sakho rips him off, and then wouldn't even pass to him for probably the next 1.5 games. And he's definitely changed since then.
Okay.
For me on PVA, I remember seeing him a couple of years ago at Bristol City away in the Cup. He was absolutely atrocious. I said to my friends who I go with him that day, I never want to see him putting on a Palace shirt again. I think he's actually going back to that form that he was playing at that time.
Ladies and gentlemen out there in the chat, your views on PVA, please. Let's just wrap this up. Crystal Palace have won just one of their past 7 Premier League games, drawn 2, lost 4, and have earned the lowest proportion of their points at home in the competition this season. Since the start of the season, the Eagles have been awarded 19 penalties in the Premier League. 19, I didn't realise there was that many. 6 more than any other side. Striker Glenn Murray, and I want to talk about Glenn Murray in a minute, Striker Glenn Murray has scored in his past 4 appearances for Brighton against Crystal Palace. Since his debut in 2017, Luka Milivojevic has scored 21 league goals for Crystal Palace, more than any other player. Now, I had a whinge a minute ago about the knockout stuff, okay? And I'm also going to have a little chat, if you don't mind, about Glenn Murray and his exit off the pitch. Glenn Murray does not play for Palace, okay? He plays for that lot down the south coast. So my question is, Holmesdale supporters and some of the Arthur Way, why were you clapping him off the pitch? The guy just scored a goal against your team, okay? The guy hasn't played for Palace for years now, okay? We binned him off, remember, okay? Because allegedly he wasn't good enough. Why did you clap him off the pitch?
No, right, hang on. Right, where do you start here? Now, the only person that didn't think he was good enough was Barju. Right, that's the first thing. Right, but I'm not going to blame him because whatever's, he didn't do it at Bournemouth, but he's done it at Brighton. And the other thing is now, his age, he's an impact sub anyway. And I'll tell you for why, because people remember that season where he scored 33 goals, got us to the playoff when we got up. That's why I think he will always have a place in the hearts of Palace fans. And I think what it is it's mutual respect. And in a weekend where we've had fans running on pitch punching players and people making aeroplane signs about demuting air crash, our fans, all right, I think it's just showing a little bit of mutual respect. The only bit that I'm not happy about, which has been put all over social media, is our fans going out taking their shirts and getting their autographs after.
Okay, can I touch on that? Jill, let me touch on that if you don't mind. When I leave the Holmesdale, okay, I come out the Holmesdale, turn right, and I go down the side of the stadium, down by the main stand, which is where the away team coach is. Another question for you, some of you Palace fans out there, why are you standing there next to the coach waiting for the Brighton players to come out to get their autographs? This is not a Palace thing. This is a Premier League thing. Lee, am I being unreasonable? Am I being ultra cantankerous tonight? Over to you.
No, I just asked him if he was there.
Actually, mate, I can't stand things like that. I didn't even know that happened. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't see me doing that. Never in a million years.
Good man.
I mean, I remember a few seasons back, Everton away. End of the game, everyone was singing Yannick Bolasie. We just lost 3-1 up there, and they're singing Yannick Bolassie's name to him.
Right, let's finish up. Let's move on from those boys. Okay, that's my whinges over for the night. But let's finish up the league table, if you don't mind. Let's see where we are and what your thoughts are. Now, so there you go. I'm just trying to clear my screen. There it is. So we're sitting 14th on 33. My point earlier on was, if you look at it down to Cardiff on 28, so there's literally 5 points between 18th and 14th. Now, we've got some great fixtures coming up. I think, is it Cardiff? Guys in the chat, give me a quick resume of the fixtures that are coming up. Are we still to be looking over our shoulders, Jill?
Yeah.
Thank you. There's the fixtures. So Watford in the cup, of course. Huddersfield, Newcastle away, Man City at home, Arsenal, and I can't see that last one, but it's... Well,
Everton. My personal thing is no. And I think, like I said, scrapping for their lives, we've been there, we've done it. Imagine the team that was sitting 14th, 15th, right? 6-7 points clear when we were bottom at Christmas. They were going, that's all right. Well, Palace are down. Someone else is down with them, And then all of a sudden, 8 weeks later, we're past them. And then their fans are going, hang on a minute. I do believe that one or two of those sides are going to make a run for it. I think, to be honest with you, no matter what Huddersfield do, I think they're gone. I think Fulham are gone. But I genuinely do think it's one from 6 or maybe even 7.
If you've got the 2 bottom teams on such low points, you'll usually find the third from bottom is usually quite a high point tally they get.
Yeah.
So I think that third from bottom position will be quite a high tally.
Well, now, don't forget what I've been saying, Lee, for weeks and weeks and weeks now. I've been saying that I thought 35 would do it, okay? And I've been, Joel to bail me out. I have been saying it for ages. Ian Costa is saying 38. I don't think as much as that. Now, work it out, okay? At 35, that means that Cardiff have got to get 8 points more than we have in the running. And we've got some tough games and we've got some easy games. Really? Are they going to get that many more than us?
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, but every easy game we seem to fluff our lines.
So we beat Man City at home then.
Will tell us a lot. Huddersfield at home, Newcastle away. If we don't get anything out of them next 2 league games, start looking over our shoulders.
Thank you. So, do you agree with Lee in the chat? Let's, some kids have just said in the chat, Cardiff are fighting, and they are fighting. In fairness, you would expect nothing else from Neil Warnock. Right, on to some questions. Okay, so like I say, we have got loads of them. Starting off, thank you for everybody that I've got here, and I'm sure there's more coming through on the chat. But I'll start off with these. This is to you both, Luke Odom. Sorry, why does Royce stubbornly refuse to start Mayer as a playmaker at home? Why does or how does PBA's form have to be to get dropped? And why is Schlupp such a lazy player? Never tracks back. So 3 questions in one. Thank you, Luke. Joe?
Sorry, I'm reading some of this stuff in the chat. I need to go to the chat. Sorry, mate.
Go.
We have got literally, from what you said, 35 to 40 points. No one can make their minds up. So, it's. I mean, Georgia Wagwu said we won't beat City or our next meeting on our next meeting, and we won't beat Arsenal. So, it's what we don't want. We literally do not want to be taking this down to the Cardiff away. Yeah, we don't want to be doing Cardiff away the last game of the season, second last game of the season. We don't want to be doing that. Bournemouth are our bogey side. They always score goals against us. The last thing we need is to be having to beat Bournemouth at home on the last day. Do you remember we never got anything off of Swansea? And 3 years ago we beat, we had to beat them at home. I know we humped them in the end. I think it was 3-0. I think we beat them. But the pressure is massive, So, but yeah, I mean, go on, fire away with the questions, and we'll just give you some.
So Royce stubbornly refuses to... Hang on. Right, okay. I'm going to bounce through 3 of these because they're all about PVA. So Luke asked about PVA and a couple of other things. Andrew Adams says PVA has been poor for some time now, but he always goes under the radar. He gives too much space to the opposition wingers and doesn't have the pace to recover like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Paul Holden says, so the masses are asking for PVA to be dropped. I keep saying he's not a defender. Hence why Knockout had all the time in the world to score that effing goal. And last one there on PVA, Jordan O'Dear said, hello, Jordan. Thanks for your messages, mate. I thought PVA has been poor for the last few games. Not just Burnley away. He should have been dropped for this. He should be dropped for this FA Cup weekend. Lee, do you agree with any of that?
I do agree that PVA should be dropped, but who's Vornik? What is the alternative apart from probably Joe Wall playing left back? And I don't think you can sort of think about putting Kelly out there or anything like that. I think the reason is because there's no alternative at the moment. I think that is the reason why he hasn't been dropped. Because on form, he definitely should be.
Okay, guys, have you got the questions there?
I've got something in my pocket, yeah.
Okay, perhaps you could do you could pick out the next one, okay? And while you're doing that, Barry Eglinton says, Jill, I travelled 3 hours away 3 hours to get to each game. I'm tired of being served up such poor home performances. Constantly poor tactically. Roy seems to be outthought on most games. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah, I do. It's... I think the thing is with Roy, he doesn't even... He reacts very slowly to every situation. So instead of seeing, another forward come on and try and press for the other side, he doesn't fight fire with fire, and that's what I've said. We've said this all along. We're more of a Keegan style team where we need to be winning games 3-2, 4-3. I mean, that's our style. I think we went for quite a few games, you know, of Sacco and Tompkins keeping the clean sheets, you know, and really being a decent partnership. But now that partnership has finished for the season, we have no pace at the back. So I just think we need to you know, suck it up that we're going to concede goals, but we definitely have the firepower and the pace and the ability to score more goals. I mean, you know, I can't think of many teams that have gone to Leicester scored 4, gone to City scored 3, gone to Anfield scored 3. You know, what is these? You know, 2 of those teams, they're Champions League sides. We are playing Champions League teams. They're not put out half a team against us. They don't put out. You know, it frustrates me. It really does. But, you know, that's the whole thing about Palace, isn't it? It's this roller coaster. We use the term roller coaster when it's just frustration. It's 30 odd years of it. So, you know, it is what it is.
Lee, you got any questions there?
I've got another one here from Spoonbill McHumpty.
Evening, Adam.
Yeah, I've got here. I'm not in the Roy Out campaign as of yet, but we do need to start looking longer term. You've shown that he's old-fashioned in his mentality. Like I said, I don't want him out, but he's not going to be here much longer. So the question for you guys is when and with whom do we replace?
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I'll tell you what, on the same thing, Claire Davis, evening Claire, she said that you can't blame Roy all the time. He's not the one on the pitch. Those boys know what yesterday's game meant to us. They didn't turn up. Come on, we beat City away. That's a really valid point there. Like I said, you know, I've got this on as a piss take for them with my sunglasses because they played yesterday like they were on holiday. Honestly, that was such a liberty for that one game. I would have. And now 2 games in a row that we needed our players. I'm serious. If we'd have ended up with 9 men, you still would have got applauded off the pitch. If I'd have gone 9 men, someone had gone for. If you'd have gone for a knockout, I'll tell you what. If I was the manager, I don't care what anyone says. If I was the manager, knockout, I would have been smashed 100% in the first 10 minutes, right? And so good. I'm telling you now, you just see, it's very rare to come to you. It's only very second that we can just yellow card. It's why I was really good. Just like coaching, smashing, saying this soul, million. Just hurt him and let him know, because I'll tell you what, Duffy loves a square, a tear up, and loves a tear up against us. Dunk loves it. Look at the way that Dunk. Tell you what, my son-in-law is a Man United fan, but he goes to Palace games, and my daughter goes a Palace fan, and they've been to a few games this year, and they said, like Ben said to me, Lewis Dunk took the proper piss out of Palace yesterday. He ran the full length of the half a weight, doing the Alan, whatever it was, the Mick Shannon winding his arm up, all the way down to them.
Ran the whole length.
The whole length
of the half a weight.
Champions League. They won the Champions League yesterday, didn't they? No, they didn't. They just won at Sellers Park. But I'll tell you what, they celebrated like they won the Premier League and the Champions League yesterday. And that's how much it meant to them. That's how much it meant to them. Can you imagine? Can you these players, honestly, I said, I added the club yesterday in a tweet for the first time ever. If I see a player's tweet between now and Tuesday, getting it off me. I do not give a shit. I don't want to see any apologies from anyone. God is great. This ain't the other. Not sorry, we weren't doing bits. I don't give a shit. I don't want to see anything, and I don't want to see any of them fucking videos either from the club putting it in the top corner like we saw on Thursday, because that didn't happen. None of that. No one was doing bits. No one was kicking anyone. No one was trying to properly fight against some real rivals. No one was trying to shoot from 30 yards. The only real shot we had was from 8 yards, and it hit the back of the stands. Just seriously, if I'd have got up, I need to go in that dressing room. I said, if Wilf didn't smash that dressing room up at half time, and they come out and proper wanted to just have a fight for our club, for our badge, then that shows our backward mentality of some of our players not giving for the badge. I'm sorry, that was piss poor.
I did hear that in the tunnel after the game, Wilf was in tears.
I wonder if that was true. Russell Baker said, good to meet you yesterday, Nick. Guys, I had loads of you coming up to me. I never tire of meeting each and every one of you. Please continue to do so. Lovely to meet you too, Russ.
What? Nicky Philpott said, deep breaths, Jill.
He said, I agree everything that Spoonbill just said. He was also going on about what are the alternatives. It's Rafa Benitez is out there. If the Americans are selling and says Benitez is available, would you go and get him?
I don't think this is a conversation that I'm really comfortable with at the moment, because we don't need to be unsettling Roy. I think the players are doing a good enough job as it is for me, giving him problems that he shouldn't have. But I mean, I don't know what Lee thinks, but I'd rather not talk about who we should have and who the right that we feel we should have.
The thing is, Nick, I don't think Roy is doing a bad job at all. I think what he's doing is a steady job. And I can't emphasise the word steady. It's not filling up trees. It's just very, very steady. We're not going to progress anywhere after him, but I think he will keep us up. And I think I'd love it. I would love it. Wouldn't it be a lovely way if Roy wins the FA Cup this year and retires at the end of the season? What a lovely way to end the book.
Absolutely right. Okay. I also want to move on very quickly. I just want to touch on this, Joel, because I know you and I have got stuff that we can't talk about. On the 8th of March, Bloomberg announced that the Wall Street financiers Josh Harris and David Blitzer are seeking to sell English Premier League team Crystal Palace after 3 years in their joint ownership.
Good.
Sorry, did you say so?
Yeah, I said good.
Okay, right. Well, all I'm going to do in that, okay, I'm going to say to you, boys, how successful have they not been, okay, and what sort of investor would we... Jill?
Right. Well, firstly, what we need to do is we need to take away this the Americans said. I believe that we have 8 separate people that have...
Can't hear you, Jill. Sort your mic out.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, so we can't hear Jill at the moment. We can see he's moving his lips. So what are your thoughts out there? Who do we want to come in? We keep saying that we've actually had some information. Well, those of you know me well, and there's a couple of you on there tonight do know me well, that it is...
What about now?
Perfectly, thank you. It is perfectly clear that we actually had some information. Joe and I actually had some information back on April the 28th last year about a certain consortium. We think there might actually be more than one looking around us. Joe, sorry, you were saying?
Well, firstly, let me just go back to 2 years ago, or maybe even 3 years ago. Paris said the club was always for sale, only to the right people. And like I say, we know that there was a certain person or people that were interested in the club because you stood next to them at Sellers. And they hinted at that anyway. But from what I'm led to believe, there's 8 people that have a percentage ownership at Palace. 2 Americans apparently have registered, and this is the American fans that have uncovered this, have registered a company to do with Crystal Palace, or the ownership of Crystal Palace, some shares in a low tax state in America. The 2 main billionaire Americans, Steve Parish, and I believe that the 3 of the old CPFC 2010 owners still have a certain percentage. Now, that's quite, there's quite I'd say confusion. But, from what we've always known about Palace, it's, I mean, the thing is, the club was owned by one person for a few times. Goldberg, Nodes,
Jordan.
Any time any single person is, Jordan, they've always ended up with money, with I would say money worries, but they've all run it close to the floor, really.
apart from the negative thing we got out of the right side. But, you know, it does seem to be, no matter what I look at it, it's, you know, Parish knows exactly what he's doing. And I hope that we don't.
Right, okay, Gel's gone again. So while he's doing that, I'm reading all your comments in the chat. Gary Finch saying, good show tonight, boys. Thank you, mate. We really appreciate all your comments. What do you think? Is it time we added new owners? And if the new owners come in, would you be disappointed if Steve Parish was to go? Andrew Adams has just said, I want an owner and owners that are going to invest in the club, the structure and have an involvement. Well, yeah. Dan Simmons says, what if we lost Parish? I would worry about the club. Fair point and reasonable. Go. Are you back? Have you got any thoughts on ownership, Lee?
I think, you know, what Parish has been very, very good for the club, and I don't think we can complain. We have had it really good in the last few years. I just think we're at the stage now where, under his ownership, have we gone as far as we can go? We need now new investment.
I do seriously. Sean Feeney saying, I want an owner that he puts the club first. Oh, tough, Sean. Parish should look at it from the fans' point of view. Well, we know Sean has got obviously other things on his mind when he's saying all that. But I take your point. I also wanted to doff my cap very quickly because I'm concerned about the time. We're going off air in a few minutes. We could be talking about yesterday's game and the possible takeover and all that sort of stuff for hours. We haven't even touched on the Watford game. Joe, your thoughts, and Lee, please, your thoughts very quickly on Watford next weekend. How do you feel?
Pray and pray lots.
Pray for Palace. Hashtag pray for Palace again.
I don't want Watford doing the treble over us.
You don't want us to do what?
I want Watford doing the treble over us.
Oh, there's a point. And make sure that those of you who are going in, this is the cap in hand fill pot bit, okay? I haven't got a ticket. Any of you real ultra pissed off about the Palace performance yesterday, don't worry, I'll get your ticket. Give me a ticket. I'll pay for it. Cash up front. Let me go. I'm ready to go. I need a ticket. Can anybody help me out with a ticket? Please get in touch if you can. Thank you very much. Right, guys. So predictions, please, for next weekend. Early kickoff again.
We don't do very well on early kickoffs, in my opinion. But I'm going for extra time.
Desmond
for you, Joe.
Extra time.
Okay, Palace will in. Claire Davis is saying in the chat, leave it with me. Claire, I've got a message for you, by the way. Somebody in our chat has just said, your question tonight was the best of the night. And there's thousands more. I say we could be going all night on these questions. Dan Simmons, got anything for me? You got any ticket for me? We will beat Watford 2-1 and then weed in the semi-final. And that just disappeared on my screen before I could read who it was.
Chris Brandrick said 3-1 Palace. Sandy Stacey said 3-2 Palace. James Elsey said 1-0 Palace. John Knox said 2-1 Palace. So Ian Appleby said 2-0. Daniel Udders 2-1 after extra time. Gary Clark said 3-1 Palace. Max Francis said 2-1 hopefully. So yeah, I mean everyone's got us winning.
What a reaction.
I think we need. I think that's what the club.
You know why?
Needs
yeah, but you know why? Because this has been their therapy. Okay, talking about yesterday's crap performance is out of your system. You can all go to work now on Monday morning. It is 9 o'clock now, by the way, boys. It is. You can go to work on Monday morning. Forget all about it. You're going to get a bit of ridicule about the work about it. Who gives us a toss? You've had a chance to get it out, flush it out of your system. I'm going to leave on a couple of notes if you don't mind. Jill, as always, mate. I can't do this without you. In all seriousness, I want to do a review next week on a Palace win. It'd be even better for me to do a review for you if I've got a ticket. Lee, thank you for joining us and welcome to the Red and Blue Review family, mate. You'll come on again, I presume?
Yeah, what games were, sorry?
I said you'll come on again, I presume?
Yeah, if you have me.
Ladies and gentlemen out there in Red and Blue Review land, thank you so much for joining us. I know there's people all over the planet, as always. Simon Cribbin, he flew all the way over from Canada yesterday and was drinking with me in the George yesterday. Great meeting you, so many of you in the George. Thank you for everybody that came over to say hello to me. I want to leave you on one thought. and I say good night. We're coming to the end of the show. A little bit of perspective for you. It's only a game of football. We're 90 minutes from Wembley. You could be a Millwall or Charlton fan, okay? And you know we ain't going down. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's true. Thank you for watching. We are Red and Blue. Good night, everybody. Thank you.